Japan is sick of English voice actors. This is by Hero, hey. I would say, yeah, let's get into it, chat. Let's get into it. I wonder what this is about. Is this about the whole, Okarun incident on Twitter? Is that what it is about? I got no idea, I'll be real. Let's get into it. Let's see what this is about.
So a few days ago, we were talking about this art of Okarun and Momo, which is now collected over
90... Oh, I've seen that on Twitter. I have nothing against race swaps in particular. I only have a problem with it when it is hypocritical. When people can make race swaps of Japanese characters to black characters, like change them to black people. But for example, or white characters to black characters. But black characters cannot be turned white. I find that very hypocritical in my opinion. But that's just me. Also, as far as I'm aware, this art isn't even, I think, this artist's artwork, I think it was traced. I could be wrong.
80,000 likes. However, many people in Japan are not happy with this art. For example, this tweet with over 70,000 likes. Once again, it reads, "There are still many racists who say that changing the race of a Japanese character is not discrimination. And as such, you can see from the quotes, they say it's a great drawing because the character is not Japanese. If you point this out, you'll be called a racist. Their IQ is too low to even understand what discrimination is."
It depends, right? For example, if the people brought up the argument of like there was an artwork of a female black Gojo. The problem was that I think was Megan Thee Stallion as in a pretty much like in a Gojo cosplay, and people were correlating that to changing the character black, which doesn't make sense. Like saying cosplaying is inherently discrimination. That's not true. Like I said, I feel like this part, because the character is not Japanese, obviously that is discrimination, because that kind of means like it kind of sounds like a superiority thing, but maybe that's just me.
Is. There was also this response getting over 370,000 likes, reading simply, "Yo, I'm Japanese. Stop making Asian characters black. We're not Disney characters." In the responses,
cooking. It's just like the whole race swapping thing is just, in my opinion, stupid. Artists, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. That's what art is for. Express yourself. And don't let other people tell you what you can and can't draw. Of course, there's limits to what you can draw. Legal limits, obviously, but still. If you want to turn, I don't know, Black Adam white, do that. If you want to turn, I don't know, the guy from Guardians in the Galaxy, the guy that plays, the guy that is played by, Chris Pratt, you want to turn him black? Go ahead, I don't care. As long as it's your own art and it's not traced.
to that post, I saw some people very confused by the Disney comment. So for anyone confused, they're likely referring to how Disney has race swapped characters. Anyways, there was then this tweet that I also showed in the prior video.
Yeah, in the live action of, you know those dogs where like one dog is like I think it also happened in Dumbo, Little Mermaid. I mean, other things, not necessarily Disney related, but live action, How to Train Your Dragon, stuff like that.
Where this Japanese user says, "I'll put it back," and post Okarun and Momo. I believe when I showed that tweet in my prior video, it had a few hundred likes. Well, since then, it's gotten over 210,000 likes, as well as this response to it with 69,000 likes reading, when Akawa Bukubu Sensei drew Ida from Splatoon 2, he had a slightly lighter skin tone, so everyone made a big fuss about it being racist, but then they're happily making Japanese characters black and justifying it. Their double standards are ridiculous.
Right. Right. Also, people don't get lighting, right? And I think they even made they even went after like people who make the art. Like people, the artists of those characters. They go after these people like, bro, is their artwork. They can do whatever they want with it. They can turn the character a bright neon green, and you have to accept that. It's like, I don't know. This whole thing is just, in my opinion, very stupid. But what do I know?
Which one is discriminatory? So they're citing that Splatoon situation that I've talked about a few times on this channel, where the creator of Pop Team Epic had made this Marina art, and then received a tremendous amount of insults from people on Twitter.
Yeah, like the whitewashing. It's like, depending on and then people bring up the meme. They whitewash Obama because of the lighting. Yes, black people can appear lighter on the specific lighting. Who would have guessed?
Including this tweet, which was like basically sending him a death threat. As I say every time, of course, they would argue that it's just a joke or something, but that never detracts from how pathetic it is. The artist had even made this response saying, regarding the
it's not just like it's a joke, but if a person that is not black would make this a kind of thing, to like somebody turning a character black, then that's a problem. The problem around the whole thing is not the change of skin color. The problem is the hypocrisy, the double standard. That is the main problem. If that double standard did exist, there wouldn't be any problems. People would draw white characters black and black characters white, and nobody would give a rat's ass about it. But because it is a double standard, people do care.
Content of this fan art, I received a response that this was racism against black people because the character's skin is depicted as lighter than in the original work. I also believe that if Ida were human, he would be black. Sorry, my coloring skills are poor, so it's not accurate. Of course, this is a very talented and successful artist, and his coloring skills are certainly not poor. Regardless, he felt the need to make that tweet and apologize to the mob. And for many,
never apologize to the mob. The problem with the mob is that they don't want you to apologize. They want you to submit. They want you to utterly submit.
Years, Japanese artists would get harassed on Twitter, and many of them would apologize or delete the artwork, etc., etc. But it seems like also over the years, more and more
Japanese artists went ahead and said, "Fuck you. I'm gonna continue what I draw, and you can cope and seethe." And that's based.
Japanese people have been sick of this sort of treatment, and also sick of the double standards, so it seems like lately we're seeing more and more of them push back. Now returning to the Okarun and Momo art situation, things ended up getting crazier because the English voice actor for Okarun decided to get involved, changing his profile pic on Twitter to that art of Okarun and saying "this is fire" and thanking the artist. And indeed in his bio we can see it says he, him, voice actor, Dan Dan.
He, him. All my opinions are my own. I don't think so, but okay.
Okarun. In another tweet, we can get further context, as here we see the voice actress Anaris Q changing her profile pic to that art of Momo, and going on to say, new profile pic, had to couple profile pic with AJ Beckles VO, and going on to credit the artist. AJ's response saying had to complete the pair with my girl, and his tweet getting 39,000 likes. However, you may have noticed that in some of those screenshots, AJ's profile pic is no longer that art of Okarun, as it seems like within 24 hours or less, he actually changed it to a different profile pic. A tweet explaining that, saying, my profile pic is now a fan drawing based off me doing a silly Okarun pose. An Afro-Latino man, which I think is pretty cool. I hope you guys like it. Although that tweet was later changed to instead say, my profile pic is now a fan drawing based off me, an Afro-Latino man. I hope you guys like it.
Wait, got Brew cooked? Bro got cooked so much he changed the profile picture again, okay. Stay to fucking voice acting. Please. If you want to do, like, political takes, just make them on an old account. I don't know. But then again, that wouldn't get the reach that they probably want. I don't know.
As of recording, Neris's profile pic is still Momo, and we can get more context on roles that she's played in her bio that reads voice of Mirko, My Hero Academia, Lynette Genshin, Fei Xiao Honkai Star Rail, Nessa Pokemon, Kimberly Street Fighter 6, JJK Dora, and she/they. In her pinned tweet, also providing context to her role in Dandadan, saying that she's the English voice of Muko. As for AJ Beckles, you'll have to come to your own conclusion as to why you think he changed his profile pic so swiftly. Maybe he decided that he was not helping the situation, thinking he was fanning the flames or something like that, and therefore
I don't think so. I think he got cooked. Or maybe he did something else. Maybe they grabbed... Maybe they found old tweets. Interesting.
decided to change his profile pic and not get further involved. However, there were also some other things that happened. Once again, come to your own conclusion, but here's the rest of the information. In the responses to his tweet about changing his profile picture, we can see a number of tweets like these. This one, for example, saying, as a black guy myself, I stand with Japan when I say some of y'all need to be stopped, and posting a few images of prior tweets that AJ had made. These reading, every time there is a black actor cast in a role in fantasy where the source material version is lighter skin, someone always has something to say about it. So tiring. It doesn't affect the character whatsoever.
Okay, again. Every time there's a black actor cast in a role in fantasy where the source material version is lighter skinned, someone always has something to say about it. What? Of course! You're changing the source material! Of course some people will complain about it. You're changing something that they like. What? That makes no sense. That's why people also don't like remakes of shows where the character where there's a gender swap. People don't like that either. It does affect the character. It does affect the people watching it, because the people want to watch the original source material brought more to life. What is this? What is this? Of course there is where, like, sometimes it doesn't matter because, like, the acting is so good that gets overshadowed, but generally people want the source material. And if people don't follow the source material, you get stuff like The Witcher, where eventually the main actor said, "Fuck you. If you don't follow the source material, I'm not gonna be working with you."
It's okay. And the other one reading, the reason white people in most cases shouldn't be playing POC isn't a matter of color. It's culture. Speaking for black people, we know what a barbershop sounds like on Sundays, what a hot comb smells like when it's going through our hair. It's not the color, it's the culture.
We know what a barber shop sounds like on Sundays. That might be a culture thing, I don't know, I don't get it. And the hot comb sounds like... I don't know. Can't tell. Don't know about this. It's not color, it's the culture. I think this is kind of stupid. Are you saying that white people who are white shouldn't play POC characters? And like but black people can voice or act in roles of white people or Japanese. Chat, is this racism? Because I feel like it is.
And so, as mentioned, many people in the responses and even elsewhere on the internet began sharing those various tweets of AJ's. However, the situation also proliferated back over in Japan
Also,
too.
I think people said about this, now that I remember, I've seen some tweets about this, people said that it was a quote from that one Asian guy, I think. Or is there something still missing? I don't know. where he complained that only like people from their culture should like from their own culture should play characters from their own culture. So like white people playing white people, Asian people playing Asian people, and then after a while he started complaining because the industry was following what he said, so he didn't get the roles that he wanted because frankly can't play a white person if you're not white by that logic. Is that here the same?
As we would then have this tweet from Shin, responding to that prior tweet that AJ made where he talked about changing his profile pic to that altered version of Okarun. Shin going on to say this and getting over 17,000 likes. Please spread the word. This is a declaration by the overseas voice actors that they support, quote, the racism that disrespects the original work by turning characters black and excluding Japanese people, unquote. Change the icon image of the X account to, quote, a Japanese exclusion blackening hate image, unquote. It expressed blasphemy against the original work and discrimination against Japanese people. This is an international issue. Officially, please remove this voice actor from his role immediately. Some of the responses to Shin's tweet including, y'all single-handedly managed to red pill Japan just by being obnoxious. Conversely, however, this tweet seems to be upset by Shin's tweet saying, the Japanese nerds are starting to get on my nerves. And
but if this was a black man complaining about black people being discriminated, you would be okay with it. I assume. That hypocrites. I hate them. I hate them.
And this response from Zero Dozer talking about localization issues as well, saying, now the Japanese know what the localization industry thinks of them. My suggestion? Make a move to get these losers out of their jobs. People both in the West and East are sick of these racist psychopaths. Over on our Kotaku in action, a top post would get made saying, Ken Takakura, Dandadan English VA supports blackwashing art, also thinks white VAs can't voice POC, but not vice versa. English voice actor again exposing racism and hypocrisy, again showing we need to clean house, the voice acting industry.
Also, people saying that this was a quote. Was it quoted? Motherfuckers, you're lying. I see no quote marks. Nothing shows that this was a quote.
And going on to post the tweets that we took a look at earlier, just for a refresher, the ones where AJ had said, every time there's a black actor cast in a role in fantasy where the source material version is lighter skinned, someone always has something to say about it. So tiring. It doesn't affect the character whatsoever. It's okay. And the reason white people, in most cases, shouldn't be playing POC isn't a matter of color. It's culture. Speaking for black people, we know what a barbershop sounds like on Sundays, what a hot comb smells like when it's going through our hair. It's not the color, it's the culture. Getting top responses such as, imagine a white person saying all this. They'd lose their job, receive death threats to them and their family, and would probably be blacklisted from the industry for good.
Yeah, that would happen. I've seen it a couple of times where people are a little more political, like white people, and they lose jobs, they get their ass beat on Twitter, they get blacklisted from events, like for example some VTubers get blacklisted from like I think Off-Kai and stuff. It's like, okay.
Satirically, someone says, excuse me, sir, I noticed you inadvertently use offensive terminology blacklisted in your post. We don't use white/black to refer to good or bad anymore. It's 2024, chud. And another saying, what a frickin' racist thing to say. Quote, all black people have the same culture and experience, unquote. And the implied BS of, haha, whites have no culture.
True. True. Motherfucker, you don't have the same culture as people in Nigeria, people in Kenya, people in other African countries. Motherfucker, they don't even share each other's cultures in some points, probably. Also, whites have no culture is, a lie. Ever been to Europe? And then you could say, yeah, but Americans, yeah. A lot of stuff that is in the United States is also European. And speaking for black people, bitch, who the F made you kings of the blacks? True. Never speak for other people. Only speak for yourself. This always sounds like weird. Imagine somebody saying like, speaking for white people, speaking for Japanese people, speaking for gay people, speaking for nerds. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. You're just only speaking for yourself, and that's it.
And speaking for black people, who the heck made you king of the blacks? And this one saying he changed his profile pic to a fan art of himself. I guess his agency told him to shut up. And that cycles me back to what I said earlier in the video about coming to your own conclusion here. Why do you think he changed his profile pic back and so fast? Do you think it was out of like some good character development? Like maybe he was like, you know what, this is not good. Like I'm making a mess out of the situation, so he changed it back. Or maybe it really is like his agency telling him to shut up, although that does seem kind of unlikely. A lot of these English voice acting companies seem like they would support the tweets that AJ made, if anything. Maybe it was the whole thing causing people to look into the history of what he's posted and not wanting all that attention. Or maybe it was the tweet going on in Japan where people are calling for him to lose his job. Or some combination of all that, who knows?
It's a combination of all that. I would say, it is a combination of getting caught in his own hypocrisy. I would say that it is, what's the word? It's obviously the backlash. It's obviously Japanese people calling for him to be fired. It's like a mixture of everything. And then he decided that, yeah, he's not having all of that. He's gonna shut up.
Who knows? Leave your thoughts in the comments. As always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this coverage, and if you did, consider...
Yes, I did enjoy this coverage, and, yeah, guys, that'll be the end of the video. Like I said before, I think that a lot of the stuff that happens usually here is simply just, I don't know, it's just like I said, this wouldn't even happen if there wasn't even a double standard, right? That wouldn't even happen. But since there is a double standard, it will always be a problem. Artists, just draw what you want. Don't trace and sell it as your art, and that's pretty much it. Just go with it.